Nobody told me I was a reporter.
Yeah. Do it more lovingly than I
لهجة فلسطينية وردنية.
Hey y'all, we're asking folks to please move back.
Hi.
Move back
And I want to make sure nobody's standing in front of the football. Can you make an announcement or somebody should make an Is there anybody? Hold on.
Please move behind the folks who are praying.
We're not connected. Can we take this banner down? Yeah, because it blocks the camera.
Salam, everybody. We are beginning prayer soon. I want to make sure nobody's standing in front of the prayer area. That should be clear. Nobody should be blocking the prayer area. So please come to the side of the prayer area. You can come to the side or behind the prayer area. Please do not block the prayer area. Thank you.
Like I get the thought process, but like
This is my secondary mic. I already have a main mic. Tape. Tape. And black tape.
but like
So the front is where you see people facing. That's the direction that people are praying in, to the east. So if you are not praying, you can come over here where I'm standing. You can come on over to the side. Okay?
This is not good. How does it sound? Work? Well, the fee hitting.
You can just hear the backup.
hey folks, we're asking everybody to please move to the back behind those in prayer. Or join the prayer.
Alhamdulillah. Hello? Test. Perfect. Good. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hi, my name is Muhammad Kameli. Audio check.
Check 1, 2. Hello, if anybody has extra binder clips or a hair clip that they don't need at this moment, please give it to me. I will give it back. I need to secure some papers. Thank you.
I don't know. It's just hooks.
Can we take the banner down?
Excuse me, can we take the banner down? No.
Why do you need the banner now?
Because the Capitol's a better background than this.
We can try and lower the banner, but we need to have the banner up.
معك المايك ولا لا؟ غنم ممكن تهات لي المايك؟
With ايدك that.
At the moment, my most important part is figuring out what are the stands that I'm not getting just into.
Is there?
They don't do it there. You're gonna mic them up?
Go ahead. Yes.
Okay, I want to.
Yeah, right there.
The sound apparently isn't reaching towards the back. Is there a way to just put it
Mic check, mic check.
That's why I was trying to figure out who to talk. So who, do you know who I talk to? Okay. My name's Niall. I'm a BNC. I was told that I was trying to expedite we got ready with this.
Yeah.
So apparently people in the back can't hear that well. Is there a way to make the volume go up?
We'll continue to push it. But part of the problem is
Mic check,
we're
mic
getting-
check,
we're
mic
getting
check, mic
feedback
check.
when we put, like,
Mic check, mic
so
check, mic check. Boss
if-
what? Yo!
the way you
It was
guys
on
do
mute.
is
Try
the
again.
speakers
Look.
are speaking really
Mic
loud,
check.
And I can pull the gain down.
Mic check,
the volume
mic
up,
check.
and get it much louder. If
1, 2, 3, 4, mic check.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. One of our speakers has a issue with their voice, so just a heads up.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Mic check, 1, 2, 3,
Do
4.
whatever you can, yeah.
Mic check. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's the
Hello,
one thing that,
hello,
that
hello.
we can do to help. And as the people are like, most of the speaking that's happening now has been like announcement, so I haven't been able to like push it.
Yeah.
So we'll just keep at it. But there is a point at which it's just our sound system's not big enough.
No, it was
Yeah.
all right. Just wanted to check in early.
Yeah.
That we know each other, and then if anything from us, let us know.
Cool. Do you? One, two.
Like he was
I'm not sure it's functioning.
One, two.
The E-man?
Can we turn this channel?
1, 2.
Can you make an announcement that you want to behind the cloud?
Okay.
Behind the cloud.
Check, check.
When they're praying,
Yes. Okay.
Late to his appointment, and then he forgot his handle.
I know. Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing, test. Okay. If you can hear my voice, clap once. If you can hear my voice, clap twice. Okay, if you are not going to be praying, then what we need you to do is to move to the sides. Everybody look at me, especially if you're close to the stage. Okay, so now turn around and look at those flowers. You want to be all the way to the left or all the way to the right?
On channel 5, this is James, police liaison. Just doing radio check, so please check.
You want to move all the way over.
Can hear my
Sorry.
Can the media stay?
Yeah. What's that? Okay. Oh. All right, we need everyone to move all the way to the south. We're moving everyone to the south if you are not praying.
We might have to make a quick announcement for the Muslims.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah reward you for all coming out here in this most desperate time, in this most devastating time for the people of Gaza. My dear Muslims,
Use the wired mic.
my dear Muslims, I ask you to please maintain the lines. The sisters, you have all the room you need. And if you need more rows, you could add more rows to the back, please. If you are not praying, please exit from this prayer area so that we can make space for the prayers. The brothers, you can continue moving all the way down this area on the lawn to my right and fill that space. Sisters, likewise, feel free to fill up those areas behind you so that we can make the most of the space that we have, inshallah. Imam Umar is here and ready to deliver the khutbah, inshallah.
He wants that in the back.
You guys can take this mic back.
The Imam wants to give the khutbah.
So he's just letting you guys know. We're not even going to be on. I want his live. So let me just double check something.
Try this one. Does his wireless?
Testing, test.
Yeah. It's not working.
Hold on, let me try.
Yeah.
It is going to be cool. على الأقل بسم الله السلام عليكم بسم الله
Possible?
Around. He's gonna come back up here. He can't do it there. It's too. So we're just gonna do it up here. He's gonna deliver the sermon from here because we tried to take them. They want the back. Yeah. Can I work with you on it? Can I help you?
Oh, you can
I don't
go
need a podium.
acapella?
He can make a zen. The
Okay.
brother is gonna make a zen.
Niall
Yo,
is
go back.
gonna-
I moved it up.
Because I need to test the other mic.
Oh, yeah.
Niall's going to introduce you, inshallah.
Okay.
And then once you get up and say assalamu alaikum, we're going to have the brother Naeem's going to give the adhan.
Okay.
And then
will the stage be cleared for khutbah?
what do you mean? While you give the khutbah?
Yeah.
Oh, like you want nobody on the stage with you?
No, we're not gonna
For
move.
Jummah, it's got to be completely. That's what I was thinking
Khali?
about. Yeah.
Okay, we can go down. Even the sound guy?
How does it sound?
I guess if he's kind of behind.
Put the headphones on? Yeah, put the headphones on.
We'll get down after we
Follow.
Okay, thank you.
All right, sounds good. We're all good? We're all good now?
You know what, man? Take the easiest route. Solomon. That's the easiest route. Yeah. I'm from New Orleans. It was always just Solomon. I didn't.
Sounds good?
Yeah. Solomon. Solomon. Yes.
So I'm just gonna say your name.
Can you
gonna
pass
say your
take
name.
out the headphones and give it to me?
Sure.
Is it? Yes. Yeah.
And when I leave Salah, I'll leave from down there?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. When I come down to Salah, I'm going to go back on that thing. All the way
Exactly.
down.
Elevator down, and then
Paige,
we'll,
some water? Is there some water down
Never
there?
had an elevator for the number two, man. First time.
we got some water here too, Imam, if you need it. Take a
Please,
sip real
thank
quick.
you.
Testing. I don't think this is working.
We're all getting down. Yeah. Well, you need the mic.
Testing. Only the video. Everyone else is gonna be one. And who is gonna be? Okay. This isn't working.
You should let him know.
Yeah, you can go on the
Hey, Patrick, this isn't working. Stay.
Yeah, we're ready. Niall, you ready? We're
Yes.
good. We're clean. Sure. Not yet. We're all gonna come down with Niall. Please come.
We're gonna get started in 1 minute. We're gonna get started in 1 minute. We ask if you are a speaker for the event, please come up to the stage. If you are a speaker for the event, please come up to the stage. To the stage, not on the stage, the side of the stage. They're there. Wonderful.
Sitting right here?
All right, we're gonna get started.
I don't have any notes, so I was going to use the mic and
just walk around?
I can hold the mic. That would actually probably be better. So
We're gonna get started. We want to first welcome all of you. This is beautiful,
I can use wireless, yeah.
beautiful, beautiful expression of solidarity. My name is Niall Ford. I am gonna be one of your MCs. I'm here representing a coalition of organizations that have come together to mobilize a multi-faith, multi-racial, intergenerational march and rally. The other MC I'm gonna call to the mic right now is gonna be Lara Kilswani.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Lara Kiswani, and I am here with the Arab Resource and Organizing Center, as well as the Rising Majority. We are here today to come together in solidarity with our people in Palestine and in Gaza. We are here today to demand that Congress and President Biden cause an immediate ceasefire. We are here today to demand the entrance of all humanitarian aid to Gaza. We will start with a prayer to ground us. Again, we ask that everybody who is not participating in the prayer to move to the left and right sides. After the prayer, we will have our program where we will engage and hear from different speakers from the multiracial coalition that has brought this together. And we will march We will march to make our voices heard so that people from here to Palestine know that the people in the United States say no to war, say no to genocide, and an immediate ceasefire now.
All right, all right. Before we bring up the imam to have prayer, the call to prayer, I do want to give just a few agreements. Just a few agreements. That means that we are here and we're going to keep each other safe, all right? So the first thing, as I said before, this is a multi-faith, multiracial, intergenerational march. We are all here under the agreement and under the commitment that all life is precious and all life is valuable, all right? We also are going to agree that we are going to practice strategic nonviolence. Strategic nonviolence is not the same thing as passiveness. Strategic nonviolence is us lifting up our voices, coming together and saying no to war and violence, yes to peace and justice, and we are going to practice strategic nonviolence together. And the last thing, there's no room at all for any form of racism and oppression. We're here to oppose all forms of oppression. So we're going to make sure that we express and we show exactly what we believe in. At this time, we are going to call up Imam Omar Suleiman to lead us in our call to prayer.
Assalamu alaikum. Before I officially start the Jum'ah, I want to remind everyone that it is Jum'ah. It's a khutbah. So please do not chant takbirat. Please do not engage except in the same way that you would in the masjid, inshallah ta'ala. At the end of the day, we're here to fulfill first and foremost the fard. So please do respect the sanctity of the prayer. And all of you that are here, inshallah ta'ala, we're going to proceed in the same way that we would in the masjid, inshallah. And we want to thank all of those that came from other communities to be here. And we thank everyone for their cooperation. I have a chair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين والعاقبة للمتقين اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على عبدك ورسولك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما ثم أما بعد. We begin as we always do by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by praising our Lord and bearing witness that Muhammad is his final prophet and messenger, and we ask him to send his peace and blessings upon his prophet Muhammad, all of the prophets that came before him, his family and companions that served alongside him, and those that follow in their blessed path until the day of judgment. And we ask Allah that He may count us amongst them. Allahumma ameen. Dear brothers and sisters, there is a concept in our faith of being a witness to something. And everyone bears witness in different ways. And when we go back to a very famous story of the father of the prophets, Ibrahim alayhi salam, Abraham, when he was being thrown into the fire by his father and by his people. You have to imagine that as this fire was kindled and as a man is about to be thrown into that fire, that there are some who are paying attention and who maybe thought at that moment that this is inhumane, that maybe thought at this moment that Ibrahim did not deserve what was being done to him. And what the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, tells us is that there are various creations of Allah, creations of God, that wanted to intervene and intercede on behalf of Ibrahim and cool down the fire. And there's one particular narration that I want to stick with you because it might feel like it at the moment. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that as the angels wanted to intercede with that fire, as the heavens and the earth are bearing witness and the various creations are bearing witness, that there are frogs that wanted to carry whatever water they could in their mouths and go to the fire and extinguish the fire with that water. All of you have seen the size of a frog, and all of you have heard of the size of the fire that Abraham was to be thrown into. But even they as witnesses were inspired, guided by their Creator to find a way to try to put out the fire. But of course the Creator, Allah, had a plan Himself, which was to make the fire cool and peaceful on Ibrahim. But I want you to think about the difference between those frogs that saw a huge fire in front of them and wanted to extinguish a fire to save this one man, a special man, the friend of Allah, Ibrahim alayhi salam. And think about a story in Surah Al-Buruj, a chapter in the Quran in which God talks about the people of the ditch, a people of faith who were rounded together and thrown into a ditch of fire by a tyrant until the very last one was a mother who was holding her child. And Allah says to us in the Quran, God tells us in the Quran, وَهُمْ عَلَى مَا يَفْعَلُونَ بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ شُهُودٌ. They were witnesses upon themselves as to what they were watching and what they were participating in. Those who were actively throwing them into it, those who kindled the fire, and those who sat back and watched silently. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, God tells us in the Quran, Wallahu ala kulli shay'in shaheed. And one of the names of Allah is this name that He uses here, that God is a witness upon all things. That they are witnesses upon themselves, that the heavens and the earth, the animals and the angels were witnessing what was unjust. But upon all of that, Was Allah, was God himself witnessing everything, and he introduces to us a name, and he has multiple names though he is one God, and attributes, and one of them is Ash-Shaheed, the witness. And of the implications of him being the witness is that he witnesses everything on the heavens and the earth, everything that is hidden and made public, everything that is disputed and agreed upon, that which is concealed in the depths of our hearts, and that which is as obvious to us as the trees in our midst. He is a witness of all of that. And he is a witness when people fabricate lies and then murder in the name of those fabrications. And he is a witness to those who do what they can to establish truth even when they are surrounded by falsehood. And on the day of judgment, he is a witness for the one who has no other witness but him. And that is one of the most profound things that we learn from our tradition, that he is Ash-Shaheed, he is the witness. And on the day of judgment, there will be people who have no one to witness for them. And if he is their only witness, that will be sufficient. And on that day, people will be called forth as witnesses. Tyrants will be gathered in front of those that they harmed, and those that they harmed will bear witness against them. And those who saw the oppression will bear witness alongside them. When the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that Nuh alayhi salam, that Noah, peace be upon him, is brought forth, and that this ummah is brought forth to bear witness on behalf of Nuh alayhi salam, because we have a trustworthy messenger. We know that Noah conveyed the message to his people. And we have the faculties that Allah has given to us, the faculties that God has given to us. We know what we are watching, and we bear witness with our eyes and our ears and our hearts, not just to his oneness, but to the aggressions and transgressions that are done that he did not sanction. And one of the names of those that are martyred, in fact, the word that we use is Ash-Shaheed, the witness. Why? Because those children and those that are shuhada, they witness the generosity of Allah, the generosity of God, the promise of God at the first strike, at the first moment that their souls leave this body. Even if a cruel punishment was carried out like that of the Pharaoh against his wife, they witness the paradise and the comfort and the compassion and the honor of their Lord when they depart from this world. And the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, Antum shuhada'ullahi fil ard, that when someone passes away, you are the witnesses of God on this earth. You witness whether or not they were people who brought ease and comfort and welfare to everyone around them. And you witness as well if they were people who brought harm to everyone that was around them. Antum shuhada'ullahi fil ard. You're all witnesses. And finally, Allah tells us in the Quran, God tells us, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kunu qawwamina lillah shuhada bil qist. O you who believe, stand firmly for your Lord and be witnesses to justice. Be witnesses to justice. وَلَا يَجْرِمَنَّكُمْ شَنَآنُ قَوْمٍ عَلَىٰ أَلَّا تَعْدِلُوا. And do not let your dislike for a people, your hatred for a people, swerve you to injustice, lead you to be unjust with them. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهِ. Be mindful of your Lord. Allah loves those who are God conscious, who stand firm upon his way and stand firm with the measure of justice that he has sent us with. Dear brothers and sisters, we are witnessing before our eyes the slaughter of thousands of people, a genocide on our screens. Many of us may have lived in the genocide in Bosnia, Srebrenica, when things showed on a TV screen or in a newspaper column. But never have we witnessed a genocide at this rate that we are exposed to at this rate. That some of you have been glued to a cell phone, have been glued to your computer screens, and so many of us have been watching every single moment, hours and hours a day, as innocent people, as children are pulled from under the rubble with weapons that we pay for against our will, that are sanctioned from here, that go to kill them. And we can't even keep up with the death toll. We are witnesses to the cruelty that has been inflicted upon our brothers and sisters in Palestine on a regular basis. We are witnesses to the cruelty of occupation, witnesses to the cruelty of apartheid. Some of you closer than others. We have people in this community that have lost 40, 45 members of their family. Every single generation of their family wiped out. We have people whose siblings, whose parents, whose children, whose spouses that are amongst us here in the United States have witnessed that massive cruelty, have witnessed it personally, and will be calling their family members in Gaza, calling their family members in Palestine, even though they know that they're dead because it's instinctive. We are all witnesses to the lies that have been told by the Israeli PR machine that always throws us into confusion and distracts people in public debate about which civilians they killed, about the mechanisms and methods that they use to inflict that cruelty. But by the time we finish this prayer, the death toll would have been even higher, because the airstrikes have not stopped. We are witnesses to the starvation, witnesses to 2023, where people can have water stripped from them, power and fuel taken away from them, crimes against humanity committed against them, while their humanity is called into question in our midst. All of you are witnesses. You have seen it. And I want you to take a step back, and I want you to ask yourself, when you read the story of Ibrahim being thrown into a fire unjustly, when you read the story of the people of a ditch, and indeed the people of Gaza are dealing with all sorts of torture, not one form of cruelty, but compounded cruelty, various forms of torture. When you see that, think of yourself as the frog that is trying to carry that water and put out the fire. I know it feels overwhelming. It feels like we don't have enough people to overcome the lies, the fabrications, and the aggression that is being inflicted against our brothers and sisters. But just as Allah made miracles happen before, through small dedicated groups, we pray that we can be that small dedicated group that He is pleased with and proud of, and that we can amplify and count on Ash-Shaheed, the ultimate witness, to amplify. I end with one tradition for you all, and it is what the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, that on the Day of Judgment Allah will say, "O my servant, I was hungry and you did not feed me." And a person would say back to Allah, "Oh Allah, how could I feed you and you are the Lord of the worlds?" And Allah will say, "Don't you know that so-and-so was hungry? And had you went to feed that person, you would have found my reward with him." And then, "Oh my servant, I was thirsty and you did not give me water to drink. Oh my Lord, how can I quench your thirst and you are the Lord of the world? Don't you know that so-and-so was thirsty? And had you gone and provided water, you would have found my reward with that person. Oh so-and-so, I was sick and you did not visit me. Oh my Lord, how could I visit you and you are the Lord of the worlds? Don't you know that so-and-so was sick, and had you went to visit that person, you would have found me with them?" If this is what Allah would say on behalf of one who is hungry, on behalf of one who is thirsty, on behalf of one who is sick, what then of the people of Gaza who are hungry, who are thirsty, who are sick, who cannot get a break from the airstrikes that are falling above them? What is our excuse? How are we bearing witness? We're bearing witness here. And we're going to keep bearing witness as long as we can on this earth. And we will bear witness on that final day that we will not be silent and passive while our money is used to murder people, innocent people in the thousands, and to keep them starved under occupation and apartheid. That we will use every last bit of our breath, every last one of our heartbeats, every last bit of our physical energy and our emotional capacity to fight back so that our brothers and sisters are not slaughtered in silence, because we know that one day we will be called to witness. And oh Allah, bear witness. Oh Allah, bear witness. Oh Allah, bear witness that we are trying to do the best that we can for our brothers and sisters. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروا إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا، ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا، ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به، واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. Oh Allah, we call upon you and we ask you to send your mercy upon our brothers and sisters in Gaza. We ask you to give them justice. We ask you to give them tranquility. We ask you to protect the innocent and the downtrodden and the weak and the oppressed. We ask you to use us for their sake. We ask you to have mercy upon that little boy, 6-year-old boy, Wadir, who was slaughtered here in our streets in the name of the same bigotry that has slaughtered thousands of our brothers and sisters in Palestine. And we ask you, O Allah, to have mercy on them all. We ask you to use us for them. We ask you to use us in ways that are pleasing to you, to uplift them. And we ask you to send your peace and blessings upon the prophets and the messengers and the righteous ones, and to include us amongst them. Allahumma ameen. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم. أقم الصلاة.
Testing, testing.
Where's Naeem?
Is it one?
One more minute. We're gonna go live. There's a whole bunch of people waiting for you. Brother, there's more room here.
There's one in the back.
Right there, brother. Right there, please.
What time does
2 more minutes. You did a perfect job. What is yours? Brother, go to that side. There is a space inside.
At least we make a straight line. Please.
Please try your best to straighten up your lines as much as you can. Please straighten up your lines as much as you can.
Move it forward. Move it forward. You're gonna go back.
Move it. Back up.
Dolly, y'all come up a little bit.
Left. Who's this is great?
Take it up. Take it there. Take it there. Good. Yellow. I didn't make the comment.
Ready?
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Better take up. No, if you're a mannequin, everybody gets to take up. Brother, what should we do? Leave it. Take your shoes off, brother. Take your shoes off. Take your shoes off. You don't have to. Take your shoes off.
It's okay. Let everyone do it.
تفضل يا شيخ.
You better not be in the front of him, my brother.
If you guys want, if you want. Allahu Akbar. Subhanakallah. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. والسماء ذات البروج واليوم الموعود وشاهد ومشهود قتل أصحاب الأخدود النار ذات الوقود إذ هم عليها قعود وهم على ما يفعلون بالمؤمنين شهود وما نقموا منهم إلا أن يؤمنوا بالله العزيز الحميد الذي له ملك السماوات والأرض والله على كل شيء شهيد. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين إن الذين فتنوا المؤمنين والمؤمنات ثم لم يتوبوا فلهم عذاب جهنم ولهم عذاب الحريق إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ذلك الفوز الكبير إن بطش ربك لشديد إنه هو يبدئ ويعيد وهو الغفور الودود ذو العرش المجيد فعال لما يريد هل أتاك حديث الجنود فرعون وثمود بل الذين كفروا في تكذيب والله من ورائهم محيط بل هو قرآن مجيد في لوح محفوظ الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah ta'ala, we want to thank everyone for coming out here to be a part of the Friday prayer. We also want to thank all of those who observed respectfully and remind everyone that we are here for a cause that unites us right now, which is to uplift the humanity of those who are being slaughtered and silenced. So thank you all for being here. Assalamu alaikum.
Check, check, check.
Okay, can you do me a favor? I know that you're going to stand here. Can you actually stand over there?
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Again, I want to thank everybody for being here. My name is Lara Kiswani, and I am here from San Francisco with the Arab Resource and Organizing Center. We are here as part of the multiracial coalition, the rising majority that has put this on alongside many of our partner organizations. And all of us are here to demand from Congress and President Biden an immediate ceasefire. Let me hear you if you are here to demand an immediate ceasefire. Let me hear you if you are here to stand in solidarity with the people of Gaza. Let me hear you if you are here to demand more of Congress. Well, we are joined today by a few more special guests, those who have the political will and the courage to speak out. We are here today with two members of Congress who have authored and endorsed the resolution to call for an immediate ceasefire. We are here as rising majority to offer our solidarity with those in Congress who dare to speak up and stand on the right side of history. So join me, please, in giving a warm round of applause to Congress people Rashida Tlaib and Cori Bush.
Who's speaking first? Are you speaking together? She's like, yeah, I got it.
Want me to go first?
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Congresswoman Cori Bush. And I bring you greetings from St. Louis, Missouri, where I represent in the United States Congress. I love you. And I'm here because one thing that I learned many years ago was that presence matters. I learned that when we say we support or we say we stand, showing up is one of the best ways you can do it. Even if it means you get attacked, even if it means some folks say your name and try to scandalize you, villainize you, demonize you, showing up, it can make all the difference. And so because I learned during Ferguson, when so many of our Palestinian brothers and sisters and neighbors came and showed up on the ground because they wanted to support black folks standing up saying, no longer will we live under this oppression. And they stood up, some of whom are here today, and they said, we will lock arms with you. We will fight for your freedom and your liberty right here in this country. And that's something I'll never forget. And so it made me think about, Corey, where are you? How are you showing up for them? When I learned about the oppression, when I learned about the hurt and the harm that's happening, not only in the United States, but also in Palestine, I learned, show your body up. Put your body on the line. Be there, speak up, show up. And not only that, let them see your dark skin show up for them. Let them see this black woman show up. But you know, we shouldn't have to be here today. We shouldn't have to do this. We shouldn't have to demand peace. But that's what we're doing. We shouldn't have to press pause and say, hey, pay attention to us, because we don't want our family members to die. Because we want freedom and self-determination, and we are anti-war, we are pro-peace. We shouldn't have to do that today. But because of the violence against your families, because of the violence that's happening, the trauma, the death, we stand. You all have come together, and let me tell you, I know what it's like to be the one oppressed and have to show up for yourself and wondering who's going to stand with me, who speaks with us. Thank you for coming out anyway. I know you're in danger. We know that there is harm coming your way, but we also know that we stand together. You are not alone. We are standing with you side by side, arm in arm. We're daring to take this tougher course of humanity and peace over that easier course of hatred and violence. We are here to affirm that you matter, your life matters, your legacy matters, your land matters, your family matters. All of it. We're out here demanding that the world and our government refuse to turn a blind eye to the collective punishment against Palestinians that has been happening over the last several days. We're out here showing that we are consistent in our love for all of humanity. All meaning all of humanity. So we are calling for an end to the violence. We are calling out here for a ceasefire. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. And as I think about it, we are a strong and a powerful multiracial, multi-faith, anti-war, multi-generational coalition that's out here. So know that you have support, regardless of what they're saying. And I know last night we heard from the administration calling on Congress for more bombs and more weapons, which we know will only lead to more violence and more death and more atrocity, and absolutely not, not on our watch, not in our lifetime, not again. This is why my sister and I, Representative to leave, This is why we came together and introduced the Ceasefire Now resolution in Congress. This resolution calls on the Biden administration to demand immediate de-escalation and ceasefire in Israel and occupied Palestine, and to send humanitarian aid and assistance to the 2.2 million people under siege and trapped in Gaza, and to save as many lives as possible. And so I'll close with this. I took a moment this morning to think about what I can offer to this movement. What can I do? As one person, one individual, what can I bring? And there was this song that kept playing over and over in my head. And I'm a Christian woman, and this song was, Lord, I'm available to you. My will I give to you. My soul I give to you. Lead me, basically is what it's saying. So I want to put that out to every person. Even if you feel like all I can do is show up, all I can do is donate to somewhere, all I can do, no, each and every one of us has a place right now. You are here for such a time as this. You are here because you have something to offer to save lives, to save your families, to save our families. You have something to bring to this movement for true freedom and self-determination. So sit with that as you stand out here today and think about, who am I and what do I bring? Because this moment is yours for the taking. We will win peace. We will win peace. We will win peace. We will win peace. Ceasefire now.
Let's give it up for Corey! 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 Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Yesterday, I wish you all could have seen. If you haven't, you should have seen our Jewish neighbors from across the country. They made me so proud and inspired. You can hear the voices throughout Cannon come through Longworth, through Rayburn. As they shouted ceasefire, as they shouted not in my name. As they shouted never again to no one. And mashallah, the Muslimin in the crowd today. If this is not a showing that most America is not with you, Mr. President. Most of America is not with the people that don't want to de-escalate and facilitate a ceasefire. I don't know who you're listening to. I don't know who you're talking to, but you're obviously not talking to these Americans. So you Jama'ah, I'm going to speak the language that they only understand. Because as we go for over a dozen days of pure violence, massacres, it didn't matter how many bodies we showed them, how many children we showed them, how many tears we shed. It wasn't the chemical weapons that was melting children's faces, burning them. It wasn't the cry of a mother or a father who took so long to have his baby boy crying, kneeling down to kiss him for the last time. It wasn't that. Do you know why now all of a sudden there seems to be this small little bit of humanization? Badri alaikum. When did you decide? Now? Now? After a man mutilated 26 times a 6-year-old body. We kept telling you, be careful. Stop equating this type of violence with the whole faith and the whole people. You didn't listen. Do you know when they started listening? Is when I told them, I just want you to know, Michigan is an important state where I come from. I'm going to speak their language. Come on, I want you to be honest with me, because it doesn't matter how many bodies. It don't matter how many are dying from a war crime. crimes are being committed. The answer to war crimes is not more crimes, ya jama'ah. It's not how it works. You want to end the cycle of poverty? Be honest. Be truth tellers. Tell the truth. I'm going to speak the language. Mr. President, Michigan is an important state for you. So is Pennsylvania and so is Georgia. And guess what, Mr. President? We will not forget. When we were mourning and crying and begging our country to stop the violence, it was silence. It was memos shredded. Don't say de-escalate. Don't say stop the violence. Don't say, hey, apartheid Israel, you gotta stop. This is a war crime. You're not following international human rights. No one spoke up. The genocide that is happening right now, as people are staying silent, is the true essence of how we're all feeling. This is exactly what they're telling us who they are. And so when I have residents calling me, telling me, Rashida, the previous president wanted to ban us and probably put us in concentration camps. This one wants us just to die. That's how it feels. Shame on them. Shame on them. How many? I want you guys all to shout where you're from. What states are you from? Shout it. Shout what state you are. We are from all over the country, just like yesterday. Amazing, incredible Jewish neighbors coming together from all around. This is how we got to talk to them. And it sickens my heart that this is how I have to talk to them. Not the bodies, not the bombing of schools or hospitals, not the fact that people are literally with no water. No, they don't care. They literally are being paralyzed. Who are they listening to? You know what I read today? MashaAllah, this is amazing. I am actually like, who do I send this to with the administration? Who are they listening to? When I read 80% of Democrats support a ceasefire. 57% of independents support a ceasefire. We have to talk their talk, ya jama'ah. You want to save lives with me? This is the way you talk to them. Guess how many Republicans? 56% of Republicans want a ceasefire. So if I have to show them in numbers, we're not going to sit back. Every child that died in Gaza, I'm going to multiply it by hundreds to show up. And if we show up, I don't care. We'll vote for drain commissioner. We'll vote for a city council person. We'll vote for a state representative that sees us and stands with us. We'll vote for Cori Bush. We'll vote for people like that stood with us. But guess what? We're going to remember. And maybe we don't want to vote for either the people that want to ban us or the people that want to literally sit silent while a genocide happens. That's the way we have to speak. Allah yarhamhim. Allah yarhamhim kulhim. But they forget, I'm an American, but dammi Palestini. Allah yahmiha, my city. Allah yahmiha. I want my sister to live in a free Palestine before she dies. I want her to walk and pick her olives in a free Palestine. I want her to eat the warm teen, the figs as she opens it on her land and puts it in her mouth in a free Palestine. And ya jama'ah, the way we do it, we're not going to stay home. Oh no. We're going to show them we're here. We vote. But guess what? If we skip the top of the ticket, if we feel like the people that want to represent us is going to sit by and allow a genocide to happen, you're not giving us a choice. You're not giving us a choice. So I'm going to always stand on truth. I'm going to always stand in saving lives. How many of you want to save lives? When they sit there yesterday and vilifying my Jewish neighbors that came here to demand. And these are American Jewish communities throughout the country that demand vilifying them, calling them all kinds of names. That's when we speak up and say, what about their voices? And say not in their name and never again. What about us? We showed up and you betrayed us. You've abandoned us. That's how we feel. It shouldn't have took what they have to be dead right now and killed. Yani ya Jama'a 26 times. I'm not going to sit back and I'm not going to fall for the warmonger propaganda. The thing they forget is that all of our communities come from war, from tragedy, for these horrific. When we see that child, we feel it. And it sickens me that nobody else sees the Palestinian people as they die equally as human. We're not disposable. We have a right to live.
That's right.
We have a right to not have everyone turn their backs on them. And I want my family in Palestine. I wish they can see this. I wish the Gaza children can see this. American people, the American people are not all in support of the genocide. We want you to live just like everyone else. Not all of America is with the Oval Office right now or what Congress is doing. The majority of them want a ceasefire. So wake up. Wake up, members of Congress. Wake up, the president. Wake up.
Wake up.
It is time now for a ceasefire. I want them to hear you. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now.
They can't hear you.
Ceasefire now. 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 Ceasefire now.
I want to thank you all so much. I know you all. I want you all to know, I know how much courage it takes to be out here. I know what they're doing to young students on campuses, people in the workplace, our children in schools. I know. But you know what? Fil akhir ad-dunya, who's the judge? So I want you to know, you will always have a sister in Congress that will speak truth to power. And I protect everyone. Everyone. Thank you so much. Inshallah, the next convening will be to celebrate a free Palestine.
Everybody give a big round of applause for Cori Bush and Rashida Tlaib. We are here to demand justice. So when I say no justice, you say? When I say no justice, you say? No justice! No justice! No justice! No justice! We're going to call up Maurice Mitchell from the Working Family Party to tell us about this political moment. Welcome, Maurice Mitchell. No justice! No justice! No justice! Ceasefire now! 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 We're here to break down walls, and we're here to build bridges. We're here to break down walls of racism. We're here to break down walls of oppression, and we're here to build bridges of love. We're here to build bridges of hope. And Maurice Mitchell from the Working Families Party is going to come here and tell us about this political moment.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Maurice Mitchell. I am the National Director of the Working Families Party, and I'm here to say I am not Israeli or Palestinian, but I'm human. I am not Muslim or Jewish, but I am human. I have not worked on the ground in the region, but I am human. I currently am in the process of learning more and more about this decades-long conflict. Yet, one thing I am clear of is my humanity. So although I am a political leader, a party leader, and an organizer, I come to you today as a human being. I want to tell you a human story, if that's okay. As a New Yorker, I vividly remember 9/11. Two things echo in my heart and mind. The fact that my sister worked in the towers, and if she had not been laid off, she would have faced the fate of all of her friends and co-workers who didn't make it. I also remember the days after that moment of collective grief and mourning. Those attacks united a city and even a country across so many divisions that normally silo us. Then our political leaders leveraged our sadness and grief into retribution and war across two countries over 2 decades, taking hundreds of thousands of lives. Our media grew incurious and published war propaganda. Our Muslim, Arab, and South Asian friends and neighbors were treated like enemies by our government. And here we are, decades later. Are we any safer? Is the world any safer? Does anyone truly know what did all of that war and retribution amount to, and whether it did anything to bring justice to or adequately honor those that we were lost in September 11th? As a human, as a father, I felt to my core the sorrow of Israeli and other families of the dead, wounded, and kidnapped. I didn't look away. I allowed myself to feel their pain. And I chose to keep my heart wide open, to remain a human witness to the suffering of Palestinians facing collective punishment from the Israeli army over the past week and days. I've also seen in horror how cynical people are leveraging the deep sorrow many of us continue to feel in order to claim, just like during 9/11, that the answer to sorrow and grief is swift and ruthless retribution. But we know from our experience that war almost never solves conflicts. We know, in fact, that wars almost always make things worse and invariably lead to the suffering of the most vulnerable people at the hands of the most powerful. Today, there are people who are claiming that if you stand for Palestinians and believe in the sanctity of Palestinian lives and believe that the lives of every Palestinian is worth saving, that you're somehow standing against the lives of others. That is a lie. Am I right? No. We are standing on the side of humanity. We're choosing to be human in a moment where many seek the most inhumane cause, war. We reject the disgusting dehumanization of Palestinians, the devaluing of Palestinian life, the attempt to silence the voices of Palestinian people, both Palestinian Americans here and Palestinians in Gaza, who simply want to live in dignity and freedom, something that we all want and deserve. We mourn the death of civilians in Palestine under the Israeli government's bombs and siege. We mourn the deaths of Israeli citizens and other citizens killed 12 days ago. And we say no more death. This is our moment to stand on the side of all who mourn and to do our level best to protect and defend as much life as possible. So we say with moral clarity, provide water, aid, and basic needs to the people. To free the hostages. To end the conflict. And to bring a ceasefire now. Fire now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Thank you so much.
Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. All right. We need everybody on the lawn. We need everybody on the lawn. Remember, one of our community agreements was that we were going to keep each other safe. So we need everybody, if you can, to get on the lawn because we want to make sure that everybody is safe. We're going to have 3 speakers that are going to come up and talk about why we need justice from their faith perspective. There are people in the Christian community, there are people in the Jewish community, and there are people in the Islamic community, and there are people in every faith community who believe and love and believe in justice. So I am here to introduce Reverend Hagler. And also after Reverend Hagler, we will have Rabbi Wise and Rabbi Rosenberg. Please greet them with a hand clap.
It's good to be here with you today.
It's good to be here with you today.
My voice has failed me.
My voice has failed me.
But I've made a vow.
But I made a vow.
To continue to speak out for justice.
To speak out for justice.
As long as I have breath.
As long as I have breath.
As long as we have breath.
As long as we have breath.
We will speak out.
We will speak out. For justice.
Now, we don't want the lie to be told.
We don't want the lie to be told.
By the media and by politicians.
By the media and by politicians.
We are here because every life matters.
We are here because every life matters.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Palestinian lives matter.
Palestinian lives matter.
Muslim lives matter.
Muslim lives matter.
Jewish life matter.
Jewish life matters.
All life without exception matters.
All life without exception matters.
What I'm perturbed about.
What I'm perturbed about.
All of the voices that all of a sudden are outraged.
All of a sudden, all of the voices are outraged.
Where was the outrage last year?
Where was the outrage last year?
Where was the outrage last decade?
Where was the outrage last decade?
And where was the outrage for 75 years?
Where was the outrage for 75 years?
Palestinian children were killed.
Palestinian children were killed.
And women and adults.
And women and adults.
And they are just as important as any life.
And they are just as important as any life.
And so we demand
to
stop the siege.
To stop the siege.
Stop the genocide.
Stop the genocide.
Stop the bombing.
Stop the bombing.
And declare a ceasefire now.
And declare a ceasefire now.
God bless.
Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now.
Shalom uvracha, peace and blessings. My name is Rabbi Jessica Rosenberg. I'm here with Rabbi Alyssa Wise on behalf of Jewish Voice for Peace and the rising Jewish movement for justice in Palestine. We are here with our ancestors at our backs, our community at our sides, and our descendants looking back at us, and the source of all life filling us up. And it is with all that surrounds us and all that holds me up that I say, ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now!
We say no to genocide against Palestinians. We say never again for anyone. We say there is no peace without justice, and there is no safety for any of us without safety for all of us. Our humanity calls us here, our hearts, our history calls us here, and those who seek to divide us, we will not let them take our histories, our humanities, or our hearts. Jewish tradition teaches about our beloved dead. We say, Zichrona livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. As we tend the wounded and search for the missing and mourn Palestinian and Israeli and all lives lost in this time, I am reminded that this movement here, Dream Defenders, Movement for Black Lives, Black and Brown organizers, and visionary prophets have taught me how to make memory a blessing. We do not have to settle for these death-dealing warmongers, for all that should not have died, for all who have died by war and police and incarceration and occupation, by bombs and displacement. We honor your memories by fighting like hell to end this war. We say your names, we tell your stories, we name the root causes, we work and live to transform the world. 75 years of Palestinian movements for justice have taught me to honor life by organizing and marching until all are free and safe and home. We say now urgently, ceasefire now, and we know that that is not the end. We will keep organizing and marching until the status quo ends, Israeli occupation and apartheid ends, until there is justice and peace speedily in our days. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will.
I'm going to share with you now the personal words of my heart. If they resonate with you, respond with Amen. May the one who knows hope instill in us the confidence to imagine wholeness, safety, and freedom for all people.
Amen.
May the one who we need be there for us as we struggle and fight.
Amen.
May the one who remembers allow us to hold in one hand 75 years of dispossession, and in the other hand, a future of freedom.
Amen.
May the one who is slow to anger soften our hearts, helping us to put down our fists and our swords, even at the height of the arc of our rage. May the one of possibility remind us that a future of peace is possible. May the one who knows life is precious help us to affirm life is precious.
Amen.
May the one who grants peace, goodness, blessing, grace, loving kindness, and mercy, Mishasim shalom tova uvracha chen v'chesed v'rachamim. May we be granted now, no matter how undeserving we are. I love you.
As we gather here, we just got an announcement that the apartheid state of Israel is threatening to bomb Al-Aqsa Hospital. As we gather here to demand an immediate ceasefire, we are watching the apartheid regime escalate its violence against the indigenous occupied people of Palestine. And we know they are doing that with the support, the unwavering political, military, and economic support of the U.S. government. Shame on the U.S. government for not reflecting the values of the masses who are demanding different, who are demanding an end to the siege, an end to the occupation, an end to genocide. If you look around you today, you will see that we are joined not only by Arab and Muslim Palestinian. You are joined by people of all races, of all religions, of all genders, standing together on the right side of history. We are standing together to say no to war. We are standing together to say no to war and genocide. We, my friends, are standing together for peace. We are the freedom-loving people of this world, and together we will fight and build a new world. Next, I want to bring up the voices of the Palestinian people, including the 6-month-old child who vows to return to Palestine. I want to introduce Dr. Usama Abu Rashid. I want to introduce from AMP, from American Muslims for Palestine. I want to introduce Layla Al-Haddad, an award-winning journalist. And I want to introduce, Salma Kiswani. And I want to introduce Asma Bubnziad, who's here from Gaza. We are going to hear from the voices of people from Gaza, and Layla Al-Haddad to hear from the voices of people from Gaza, the voices in diaspora, the voices of the Palestinian people here in the United States, demanding something different of this government. Please give them a warm round of applause.
Assalamu alaikum. How's everyone? How do you feel? Well, let me tell you this. This massive turnout is a testament that they will not be able to intimidate us, nor they will be able to silence us. We will continue to speak out, speak up for the Palestinian rights. We will continue to amplify their voices. We're not going to give up on them. We draw our resilience from their resilience in Gaza now. We draw our defiance from their defiance in Gaza now. If Israel has failed and will continue to fail to break their will, you will never be able to break our will here in America. In his war speech last night, the president started by saying, and I'm quoting here, "We are facing an inflection point in history where the decisions we make today are going to determine the future for decades to come. We cannot agree anymore. Yes, this is an inflection point in history where humanity is being distinguished from evil. Mr. President, unfortunately, you have failed the test. You have failed the test. You have lied about your claim and your promise when you came to office that you're coming to restore America's moral authority. There is no morality in standing with genocide. There is no morality in apologizing for genocide. There is no morality in enabling genocide. Mr. President, your attempts to rewrite history are not going to work, and is not going to work. Your lies about wisdom and your own wisdom is not going to fly. You are not a wise person. You are not in a position to give an advice to a criminal government in Israel. Instead of advising them to learn from our mistakes after 9/11, instead of advising them to learn from our lies to invade Iraq in 2003, maybe you should start with yourself and learn from these lies. You're someone who was for the Afghan war. You're someone who was for the Iraq war. You're someone who's always perpetuated this machine, war and aggression worldwide. So instead of advising the Israeli government to learn from our mistakes, learn from your own mistakes. We invaded Iraq based on deceptions and lies, and you are lying today when you are claiming that it is the Palestinians who bombed their own hospital. You are lying when you claimed that you saw with your own eyes 40 Israeli children, beheaded Israeli children. The White House walked back your statement. You are still to apologize. The blood of Wadir is on your hands. You have fueled this bigotry. You have fueled this animosity. You have fueled Islamophobia and anti-Semitism. So shame on you. Shame on you. We will continue to stand with them, and we will continue to stand against this genocide. And we will continue to hold this dysfunctional Congress that did not convene to serve the American interest, but it's coming together now to serve Israel. Shame on all of you. Shame on all of you. You don't speak for us. And Mr. President, you can kiss our votes goodbye. You don't deserve them. You don't deserve them. The hell with your moral authority that you promised us. The hell with you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, brothers and sisters in humanity. My name is Layla, and as I speak, Israeli forces have committed another atrocity in the Nusayrat refugee camp, killing 22 members of a single family. And they have threatened to bomb the Al-Aqsa hospital. We are witnesses here, lest they deny. Gaza is where I call home. It is where I spent my childhood swinging on my grandfather's maize tree. It is where I raised my young son, where my parents were both born, and where my entire family still resides. For the past 2 weeks, the last thing I do before I go to sleep and the first thing I do when I wake up is to check if they're still alive. Their updates are frenzied and harrowing. New bombings, closer this time. A tree fell on the house, the windows broke. You may have heard your whole neighborhood, Rimal. It's all destroyed. Your cousin's house was damaged, another family wiped out. The Abadlas, remember them? The bakery, the bookshop, the hospital. We may not survive the night. Pray, pray, pray. But we feel better today. We ran out of water. We need to clean ourselves of the stench of blood and bomb debris and broken lives. Then we had cake, don't ask how. A birthday for our 9-year-old. We insist on celebrating life. We insist on hope. They have run out of water. They have no power, none whatsoever, for 10 days now. True to Israel's criminal promise to deprive them of both of those things. But they refuse to leave their home in Gaza City, insisting they would rather die in dignity. And yet they repeat to me over and over, we are still standing. We thank you, God. We seek his pardon. And we ask only 2 things. Pray for us and tell our stories. There are 4 truths I have had to contend with over the past 2 weeks. The first, I no longer spend my days and nights worrying about what resources they have, but whether they will survive at all. The second, there is no safe place in Gaza, no bomb shelters and no escape. The third, our government has failed us. And it has failed them, and it has failed humanity, and it is facilitating and enabling a genocide unfolding before our eyes. The fourth, our government considers Palestinians as unhumans and therefore dispensable. Almost every Palestinian I know right now is in the same situation with family on Gaza, dividing their time between checking in on them and each other because our suffering and our realities are being denied, all while looking over our shoulders. Not because we want to, but because we have to. It is urgent and it is necessary. And when we have a moment to breathe, we are left wondering how many more Palestinians need to die. How many more more children need to be killed, President Biden, before we call for a ceasefire. 44 Palestinians have been killed so far. 1,600 children, more than the number killed in 20 months of Russia's war on Ukraine. And I end with this. My 4 children have been watching all week, distraught, and asking me, what will happen when the dust settles? Will they forget about us again? For her sake and for our own, and more importantly, for the sake of the children of Gaza and Palestine, I hope not. A return to a status quo where Palestinians are given a false choice of living a life of subjugation under Israeli apartheid or leaving their own country is not something any of us can afford.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm just here to let you all know that I stand here before you unapologetically Palestinian American. Sisters and brothers, I do not worry about the people of Gaza, because the people of Gaza are brave. They are courageous. They are resilient. I worry about you. I worry about Palestinian Americans and Muslim Americans. Where is your courage? Where is your bravery to stand up for your Palestinian sisters and brothers in Gaza and in the West Bank? Sisters and brothers, ceasefire is just the beginning. You will not walk away from us when there is a ceasefire, because that just means we go back to siege, we go back to occupation, we go back to brutalization, we go back to detention, we go back to deprivation. So don't stop at the ceasefire. Sisters and brothers, we have a lot of work to do, and some of you are not speaking loud enough. Rizq is from Allah. Rizq is from Allah. So what if you lose your job? So what if you lose an opportunity, sisters and brothers? That means that it was not meant for you in the first place. Sisters and brothers, they can take everything that I have. Everything that I have. Because I and you are not more honorable than our Palestinian family in Gaza and in the West Bank. And I will say this to our president and the people who are around him, and the Arab Americans and Palestinian Americans and Muslim Americans who work for this genocidal administration. Shame on you! Shame on you! You need to be outside here with us. Your president has disrespected you and our communities. So keep speaking out. Keep calling your members of Congress, because November 2024 will come and we will not forget our people. And lastly, I'm going to share a quote with you. And this is to all of our friends here, our Jewish American friends, our black friends, some of whom are also Muslim, our South Asian, Palestinian, Syrian, Yemeni, all of you. It's a quote from Leela Watson, and she says this: if you have come here to help me, you are wasting your time. But if you have come here because you believe that your liberation is bound up with mine, then let us work together. Free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
Sisters and brothers, my name is Asma. I'm Palestinian from Gaza who lived all her life until this summer. I, like many Palestinians, have survived the Israeli aggression of 2008, 2012, 2014, 2021, 2022, and May 2023. Unfortunately, I'm not there with my family, witnessing and maybe dying with them in 2023. We are surviving a lifetime of Israeli occupation, of constant bombing and violence. A lifetime of being given a choice between a slow death or a quick death. During the 16 years of blockade, I, like many Palestinians in Gaza, lost our beloved ones. I lost my uncle because he was unable to get a permit for a medical treatment. We live a life with a constant state of waiting for when is the next Israeli aggression. When the next aggression will take the lives of the people we love. Right now, we are not losing one or two of our family members. We are losing them by the dozens. My friend Abir lost 30 members of her family. My colleague Muhammad lost 25 of his family. My uncle's wife lost 22 only yesterday of her family members. There is no Palestinian right now in Gaza who has not lost a family member, a house, or was internally displaced. Our children are becoming more knowledgeable about death than they are about life. They comfort their mothers and ask them to forgive them if they died. Maryam Samir wrote 4 days ago, "I can't believe I'm alive until now. I don't know if after an hour I will remain alive. I'm tired of taking a refugee from one place to another, from a hospital to a street to a house while the bombardments is constant." Maryam died. No, actually, Maryam was killed. Right now, as we are sitting in the comfort of our places, of our homes, 3 other UNRWA schools are being threatened of being bombarded. Al-Aqsa, Al-Quds Hospital, that is a refugee of 12,000 Palestinian internally displaced, is also being threatened to be bombarded. Are we gonna wait until we see another Al-Ahli massacre to move? Is that what we are waiting for? My sister, who's a teacher, an English teacher and a mother of 2 amazing old boys, texted me asking me, every night I try to comfort myself that tomorrow there will be a ceasefire. And then I woke up and see no ceasefire. And I want to ask you all, I don't have an answer to her, but I know that we all collectively can have an answer to when a ceasefire can actually happen. The people in Gaza want ceasefire now, and we should not stay silent until a ceasefire is happening right now.
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire! All right, all right, all right. I need you to do us a favor because marching is only one tactic. But if you have a cell phone, I don't know, a lot of y'all got cell phones. Take out your cell phone. Take out your cell phone. And we need you to text Gaza to 96904. You will receive a petition that we need you to sign to President Biden and Congress so we can actually get a ceasefire now. So take out your cell phone, text 96904, Gaza to 96904. Text Gaza to 96904. Tell your friends to text Gaza to 96904. Tell your family members to text Gaza to 96904. We will now have Frankie from Harriet's Wildest Dreams right here in Washington, D.C. We will also have the Pastor William Lamar IV of Metropolitan AME Church, also right here in Washington, D.C. We will have Nahad Awad, the founder of CARE. Please welcome to the stage. Ceasefire Now, text Gaza to 96904.
Patrick, I can't find a bag. Yeah, there's no HDMI. Think it's in somebody's bag?
No, it wouldn't be in somebody's bag. It would be on the floor.
Please prepare me to be a sanctuary, liberating, free and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. My name is Frankie C. Braun. I'm a third-generation Washingtonian and a lead organizer with Harriet's Wildest Dreams. We welcome you to Washington, D.C. We are a Black community defense hub, fighting against oppression and fighting against state-sanctioned violence, much like the violence that is happening in Palestine. And we are here today in hopes of being a sanctuary, in hopes to be a place of refuge for our Palestinian family. We gather here as sanctuary until the time comes, and the time will come, where oppressed people will return to their homeland and Palestine will be free. Free, free, free Palestine! 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 And we want to make it abundantly clear that this is not a both sides argument. What is happening is eradication, apartheid, and ethnic cleansing by the state of Israel with the full backing of the U.S. imperial machine. What is happening is the extortion of our American tax dollars to fuel war. That is what is happening. We call for an immediate ceasefire. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. We admonish U.S. imperialism. Western subjugation of the global majority must stop. We must uproot occupation, put an end to genocide, and stamp out white supremacy wherever we see it. For it is our duty to fight for our freedom. And it is our duty to win. It is our duty to love one another. And we have nothing to lose but our chains. As Asada says, this battle against oppression, we as Black Americans can uniquely understand. We know what it's like to be hated for qualities as trivial as skin, as ethnicity, or whom you choose to love or worship. And we say shame on Congress. Shame. We say shame on Biden. And we even say shame on our very own DC Council, who unilaterally sided with oppression by backing Israel with no mention of the impact on the people in Gaza who have been under siege for 75 years. We say shame. For I too know what it's like
like in my epigenetics to hold generations of grief, trauma that expounds over decades and for some of us, hundreds of years. My ancestors knew what it meant to flee. And we stand here firmly and we say, no more. We stand here as a sanctuary for you. And in solidarity with Palestinians and all oppressed people across the globe, we call for not only ceasefire, but for the immediate removal of the occupation. We love you.
Beloved, thank you for the beauty and the strength that I see. Thank you for your presence. And I want to begin by reminding us that the American empire is doing now what it has always done. I want to remind us that America stood with South Africa deep into the presidency of Ronald Reagan. That America supported apartheid then, and America is supporting apartheid now. I want to remind you that empires do what empires do. They dislocate people. They steal land and resources, and they wrap it in the rhetoric of freedom and divine destiny. We've come today to interrupt the theology that says that if you've got bigger guns, you can take my land. We come to interrupt the Western political hegemony that says that these nations can control the masses of human beings. We say free Palestine. We say ceasefire now. And we speak the word that so many of us have been afraid to speak, and that is revolution. We speak theological revolution, that every human being is made in the image and likeness of God, and their freedom is not to be circumscribed by anyone. We speak economic revolution, that capitalism, which extracts from our land and from our bodies as it is practiced in the world, must cease. We speak a revolution around human relationships where every human being is as valuable as the next. I stand here in the Black prophetic tradition. And let me be clear with you, were it not for our tradition, Harriet Tubman, Fannie Lou Hamer, Pauli Murray, the United States that you have now, where you are all welcome, is a United States that was built by this Black prophetic tradition. George Washington's monument behind us did not intend for all of us to gather here. Abraham Lincoln did not intend for all of us to gather here. But black women from around this nation intended it, and other human beings intended it. And I say to you today, if we intend freedom, if we fight for freedom, Palestine will be free. Ukraine will be free. Washington will be free. The world will be free. Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace be to you. I am Nihad Awad, the Executive Director and founder of CARE. I am also a Palestinian refugee. I was born and raised in a refugee camp as a result of the ethnic cleansing that my family and hundreds of thousands of Palestinians have been forced out from their homes, from their farms in 1948. And now we are here. We are here witnessing the homeland against being ethnically cleansed at the hands of the Israeli occupation, aided, abetted, armed, excused, justified, defended by a corrupt government, our U.S. government and its president, President Joe Biden. Brothers and sisters, let me address the president. President Biden, you self-declared yourself as a Zionist. You have been stealing the money of the United States taxpayers to defend and arm an occupier. So far, our government, the U.S. government, has spent over $160 billion on an illegitimate, illegal occupation of Palestine. While here in front of the Congress, there are homeless people living under the bridges. We have homeless people living in front of the White House. Our schools are unsafe. We have impoverished communities. The unemployed people are so many. Why don't we spend this money on American people who have earned this money? Let me address the media. Let me address the media. What happened to journalism? What have you done to journalism? What happened to verifying independently the news? What happened to this principle in journalism? You have parroted and repeated, debunked claims that Palestinian babies, Israeli babies were beheaded. You have planted an image about the Palestinian people while they are the victims. You are blaming them and referring to them as the victimizers. Brothers and sisters, we have so far mobilized 160,000 messages to members of Congress. This is not enough. This is not enough. Do you think it's enough? I would like you, when you go home, you turn on your computer, your phone, and look at the petitions. Add your voice. Add your voice from your comfort zone. Add your voice with your fingers and give a voice to Palestine. Finally, I have an announcement. Our annual banquet, our evening of solidarity with Palestine, had to be moved from the Marriott Hotel in Virginia because of death threats and bomb threats and threats to kill people at the hotel. We have relocated our venue to a secure location. If you register, we will give you the location. I would like you to be there in support of CARE's work to defend the rights of Muslims and everyone to speak up, to be safe in their workplace, in the schools, and also speak up for Palestine. We will not be silenced. We will not be intimidated by bigots who are trying to silence your voices. Your voices are critical for the victory of the victims of the Israeli occupation. God will be with us. Thank you so much. Ceasefire now. Free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Thank you.
Some of you may be... Is it working? Some of you may be feeling raindrops, but let's remember raindrops are nothing like the bombs falling on Gaza. Let's remember that we are going to stay united and take action until we get the ceasefire that the people of Gaza are demanding, until a Palestine is free for the freedom of us all. You have just heard from many speakers of different movements and different sectors to remind us that we are united as the masses for a free Palestine. As the U.S. government and other Western powers seem all too united to support war and genocide in this moment, the rest of the world, including working people right here in the United States and all freedom-loving people, are united in our quest for a different world where all people, including the Palestinian people, can live in dignity. We know that the current violence could end immediately if those in power took even the smallest step to stand on the right side of history. this moment requires all of us to demand that they do. So I want to remind you again to get out your phones and text to 96904. That's 96904. Text Gaza, because we are not here simply to raise our voices and be heard. We are here to get organized and make demands of those in power, and we are here to win. So while the U.S. government and its allies clamor to the beats and the war drums and annihilation, we join people across the African continent, across Latin America, across Asia, and working people right here in the United States to demand freedom, to demand justice, to demand self-determination. We are here to say no to genocide and no to war, because when we say freedom for Palestine, we join the international struggle for economic and political democracy. When we say free Palestine, we say education and healthcare for all. When we say free Palestine, we are calling for right relations to the land. When we say free Palestine, we are fighting for social justice, for gender justice, for climate justice, and the interests of all working people. As the brother just reminded us, we know all too well the history of this country, the history that it inflicted on the indigenous people of this land, the role it played in apartheid South Africa. But let us also remember, just as the struggle to overcome apartheid South Africa became synonymous with global peace and justice, a free and liberated Palestine means freedom, means justice and peace for all of us today. So next I want to introduce another speaker from Gaza, from the Midwest in Detroit, Tariq Ludhan, who will share with us a poem. And following that, we will be joined by the choir, the Ceasefire Choir, to echo the demands to end genocide and war from here to Palestine.
So first of all, thank you all for being here. Please give it up for yourselves for being here. All I can say is I wrote this poem 10 years ago and it's still relevant today. But know that you're each shoulder to shoulder together today. Meet somebody new and show up at your congressman's office together in numbers and make sure they hear you. Make this action feed into the next. Here's the poem. We were born with eager feet. These bare boots too used to making the most of barriers and broken concrete when I was 14. I spent the summer in Gaza playing football in the garage of my cousin. Soccer served as a cliche metaphor for escaping. Often, the ball would cross out of our makeshift stadiums and we would go get it. We built our rituals in retrieval. In returning where I found bullets pitted in the porous cement walls of my late grandmother's home, I remember wanting to dissect them for traces of hatred. Just so I could know what gave them the audacity to fly so fast and so strong. So I tried to pry the steel from stone with hands scared and shaking. Like our doctors in bloody battlefield streets trying to pilfer life from the bony pincers of death, and all I could think was, how many? How many bullets? How many bodies? How many bullets have missed their marked bodies? Because I know of too many floating souls adrift in the woodwork of sonic booms and sandy shores, and Palestine every day is a hurricane. A sandstorm of fists and lead. We lead with our fists first until we are fed. But look how they blame the hungry for swallowing their anger. As if the blockades were out of season. As if our boys had a choice between fight and flee. We scratch at the itch until we carve out the crazy. But where do you go when they straitjacket your city? When they peel away your borders and build asylums around you, there is nowhere to hide. Imagine having someone reach down your throat just to tickle your spine. To siphon your history out of your soul and wave it before you like a bone. They treat us like dogs, canines, barking in their kennels. If you look at a map, Gaza is a limb dangling from the body of the people. an anchor that cannot be trusted for all the wrong reasons, and I'm still trying to shed these shells. I'm tired of being shrapnel, a jagged casing of red-stained emotions, but there are no transfusions in a torn nation. No one donates pieces of themselves to the silenced, and here we are convinced that we are safe in our own homes, in these beds that we do not build ourselves, but when I wake up, I am told who I belong to. I respond with a muted plea, a beggar's tune. My throat is a conglomeration of voices that are not my own, a box of blood and bile being channeled through a vessel that fills itself with the stories behind shattered screams, the holler of a trigger punch piercing through lung shrapnel, through the exoskeleton streets of a city that I used to wrap my backbone with every day. All I am left with are prayers that one day I can just go back, that my cousins and I will be those mist-marked bodies, not bodies in a mist-marked land. Free Palestine!
I'm going to introduce Zoma and Demario.
Okay.
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! All right. You may have been handed a flower already. If you have not been handed a flower already, you will be handed a flower soon. Quick announcement. We need you to hold on to that flower during the march. Turn to your neighbor and say, hold on to the flower during the march. We oftentimes say that we don't give people their flowers while they're living. These are the flowers for the dead and for the living. So please hold on to your flowers as we march. And I also want to remind you, if you have a cellular phone, I see a lot of y'all have cell phones, we need you to text 96904. Gaza to 96904. All right, thank you. We're now going to have Lone introduce some more speakers.
Free Palestine! All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Lone Tran. I have the honor of being the National Director of Rising Majority. And I want to introduce our next speakers to give folks a sense of all of the folks who are out here today who are demanding ceasefire. I want to say that we remember Iran, we remember Afghanistan, we remember Vietnam, and we will remember this moment, and we will remember Palestine, and we will remember the decisions of Biden and the U.S. Congress and this government that has committed billions and billions of dollars and hundreds of thousands of bombs for a genocide. And we condemn that. And we will remember the students who have walked out of school to demand a ceasefire. We will remember the teachers who are teaching the real history. We will remember the workers who have walked out of the workplace today. We will remember the clergy who have organized their congregations, and we will remember each of you, mothers, parents, artists, activists, regular, everyday people of conscience. You are my neighbor. I am with you. We are Muslim. We are Christian. We are Jewish. We are queer. We are straight. We are young. We are old. We are white. We are black. We are Asian. We are Muslim. We are Arab. We are Latina. And we are here because ceasefire is a racial justice issue. Because ceasefire is a gender justice issue. Because ceasefire is an anti-imperialist issue. Because for anyone who cares about the future of a multiracial working class democracy, for anyone who cares about the rise of authoritarianism and fascism, we demand an immediate ceasefire. End the occupation. End the U.S. aid to Israel. Our Palestinian comrades, our Jewish comrades, our anti-Zionist comrades, we are with you. You are not alone. You make each of us braver. And with that, I want to shout out some folks who are not on stage and then introduce our speakers. I'm very proud to call Movement for Black Lives my comrades. I am very proud to call the Dream Defenders my comrades. I am very proud to call the Arab Resource and Organizing Center my comrades. I am very proud to call Freedom Inc. my comrades. Jewish Voice for Peace my comrades. If Not Now my comrades. Working Families Parties my comrades. And I am very honored to be able to introduce Zoma Arias, Executive Director of People's Action, and Demario Cooper, Co-Executive Director of Center for Popular Democracy.
Hello, everyone. Buenas tardes. My name is Zulma Arias. I am an immigrant from El Salvador. I am also the Executive Director of People's Action, and I bring you greetings and solidarity from our network of 30 states, 40 organizations that are standing with you right now. And I am not going to repeat what everybody says, but there's one important message that I have for you, because you know what I have been doing since I have been standing here for the last 4 hours? I have been asking my team, my communications team, find any Spanish media and bring them to me, but guess what? We didn't see that many. We didn't see that many, and that is wrong. So what I am here to tell you, and what I'm here to tell you from People's Action, is that we are training thousands of organizers and grassroots leaders as part of what we're calling an organizing revival. We are training people in the deep practice of community organizing to better prepare us for times like this, because we gotta stop meeting like this. We gotta be together every day, not just in moments like this. And we recognize that the traditional grassroots movements in the United States, they lack a shared understanding of our struggle across borders. And while I am grateful to our Alinsky traditions that brought people like me here today, I want to tell you that it's a new day for our movement. And that at this very moment, there are thousands of organizers training the next generation of organizers and grassroots leaders in the deep practice of good organizing that just take us from self-transformation to resistance, and from self-resistance to a collective shared interest, so that in moments like this, we can show up without hesitation and an unwavering solidarity as a movement, because we recognize that our struggle is a shared struggle. Thank you, everyone. Hasta la victoria siempre. ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí
puede! Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Palestine! To God be the glory. May my words honor my ancestors. We already know what's wrong. The first thing I want to say, though, is not for the people who are here, because y'all already know what's going on. I want to say it to the people who are on the sideline wondering if they can say anything, because their values have them in a situation where they're like, how do I stand on my values of being anti-colonialist and not look like I'm anti-Semitic? And at the same time, how can I stand on my values of fighting and wanting oppressed people to be free and not looking like I'm pro-terrorist? See, that's the condition they got us in. But I'm here to tell you, my name is Demario. Actually, I'm Demario Cooper. I'm a co-executive director of the Center for Popular Democracy. I got to do that. That's my job. But I'm not really standing here as that. I'm standing here as a human being. And I'm here to tell those folks who think they're on the sideline, you got to stay on the sideline, that you do not have to stay on the sideline. Because we're not asking you to make a choice about what side you want to be on. We're asking you to make a choice about whether or not you believe in humanity or not. We asking you to make a choice of whether you stand for human beings being able to thrive on this planet. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. And they want to make us think it's something else. But it's only two questions. Either you believe in human thriving or you do not. And the question to the folks that we elect to represent us, the folks that we elect to represent us, we are asking them if you stand on the side of humanity or not. We need a ceasefire. We need our president to demand a ceasefire. And we need to send humanitarian aid to the folks in Palestine who are losing their lives. God bless y'all.
Let's make a roll.
Palestine will be free. Thank you all. This has been such a beautiful showing of solidarity. And I think a big part of that is because Palestinians have always been in solidarity with the oppressed everywhere. The song that we want to share with you comes out of Standing Rock. May this body be a bridge. These are the words of Saeed Abdallah, a Palestinian organizer, and it was turned into a song by Tay Martin in solidarity with resistance against Standing Rock. We'll start it out, but we'll love for you all to chime in. May this body be a bridge for the healing of this land. May the river flow through us, cleansing greed from our hands. May this body be a bridge for the healing of this land. May the river flow through us, cleansing greed from our hands. We are born from the water. We are made from the land. Teach us, oh great mother, to bring peace to the land. May this body be a bridge for the healing of this land. May the river flow through us, cleansing greed from our hands. May this body be a bridge for the healing of this land. May the rivers flow through us, cleansing greed from our hands. We are born from the water. We are made from the land. Teach us, oh great mother, to bring peace to the land. This body be a bridge for the healing of this land. May the river flow through us, cleansing greed from our hands. May this body be a bridge for the healing of this land. May the river flow through us, cleansing greed from our hands. We are born from the water. We are made from the land.
المية للمية فلسطين عربية من المية للمية فلسطين عربية free 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 free
Palestine!
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 حرة حرة فلسطين
Hurrah, hurrah, 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 Palestine!
Thanks y'all.
Each of you who has a flower, if you can you please raise it? Raise your flowers in one hand. Raise your fists in the other. These flowers represent us mourning those who've died and fighting like hell for those who are living. Today we are going to march, and when we march at the end, we're going to ask you to lay your flowers down for the people of Palestine, for those who've died, and for those who are living, and for those we are fighting alongside for a free Palestine. Today is just the beginning as we build out the movement to ensure that the people of Gaza do not endure one more day of siege, to ensure that the people of Palestine do not endure one more day of apartheid, and to ensure that all of us Palestinians have the right to return to our homeland. We're going to end with some calls to action, so I want to bring back Lone from the Rising Majority and remind everybody here, you and we are the Rising Majority.
96904. Gaza to 969. Okay. Oh, shit, where's the mic? Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine!
Okay, make sure to text Gaza to 96904 so that we can continue to build this movement. Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine!
Okay, are you ready to march? Are you ready to march on DC? Are you ready to let Biden and Congress know that we have to get a ceasefire now? That we have to stop this genocide in Gaza? That we've got to end U.S. funding for Israel? Are you ready? Okay, we got some comrades to get us fired up, okay? So hang on to those roses, and then we're going to get into formation, okay? So first I'm going to bring up Ava Borgart from If Not Now. After that, Brittany Ramos de Barros from About Face Vets Against the War. And then to close us out with our call to action, Iman Abid from U.S. Campaign for Palestinian Rights.
Today, I'm Eva and I'm from If Not Now. And today, we are here to march with you after a week where thousands of American Jews have been at the White House and Congress demanding a ceasefire because we refuse to let our grief be weaponized to call for genocide. My family's entire bloodline was almost wiped out generations ago. There used to be hundreds of families with my last name. Now there are only a few of us left, and that is happening for Palestinians today. With U.S.-made bombs and U.S.-made guns dropped out and U.S.-made planes. And how dare Joe Biden say that's about Jewish safety when he has said the billions in U.S. aid to Israel was the best investment the U.S. has ever made to protect its interests in the region. Your investment is costing us our lives. It's cost 1,000 Jews this week our lives. How dare you claim it's about our safety? Palestinians. To end the lie that Jewish safety is somehow secured by Palestinian suffering. And we are here to tell Joe Biden, while you look for your respect for humanity, get our name out of your mouth. And until then, we will continue throwing ourselves into the cogs of your war machine, alongside every single person here, in a massive, multiracial, multi-faith, multi-generational, anti-war uprising of every single person on the side of life. To say all of our safety is tied together. And we are here until we get a ceasefire now. Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
My name is Brittany Ramos de Barros. I stand before you, a former U.S. Army captain and combat veteran, to add my voice to yours in one voice, saying no! No! Not again! Never again! Not to anyone! We will not do this again! I deployed to Afghanistan, believing the lies that rich people in their fancy offices told me that I was fighting for the safety of my people. I believed the lie that I was fighting to protect the Afghan people. And as I stood there in the dust, feeling the ripples of the shockwaves flow through my body as villages were bombed, as I watched mothers bury their children, I knew that it was undeniable that we cannot bomb our way to peace. That we cannot kill our way to safety. We will not do this again. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! My name is Iman. I'm a daughter of Palestine. Today, I am strengthened by the women of resistance, by my mother, whose hands carry our culture, whose tongue sings our songs, and whose heart aches for our homeland. I carry the strength of my city, my grandmother, who was born free and defied occupation by living and giving life to generations. Our resilience is our resistance. We are here today to demand life, to demand a ceasefire. But we don't just want to live, we want to be free. Free from occupation, free from violence, free to be Palestinian. We demand an end to the U.S. military aid that upholds our occupation. What is happening in Gaza is beyond horrifying. Millions have nowhere to go, nowhere is safe, and nothing is sacred. There is no sanctuary from the bombardment. Homes, hospitals, houses of worship are all targets. Every minute death rains down, and we must act now to bring an end to this slaughter. We know that our liberation is collective. Our struggles are are shared. Together we must challenge all forms of structural violence and oppression. We must stand together and demand a ceasefire. We cannot wait, we will not wait, and we will not be silent. We are here today to take action. Congress and President Biden have forced us here. We cannot allow the United States to continue funding this violence. This is a genocide, and every day we wait, every minute that goes by, more lives are lost forever. Palestinian lives deserve to be treated with dignity. Now is the moment to demand Congress to call for a ceasefire. All of us now, take out your phones. Yes, right now, take out your phones and text Gaza to 96904. Over 4,400 Palestinians have died. Do it every day. Tell your friends to contact Congress. Ask your family to do it. Palestinians deserve to live. Remember, Congress does not tell us what we must work with. We have the power to demand what we need and what we want of Congress. As we march, may you carry your ancestry on your back. May you hold the children of Gaza in your hands as we march. May you hold onto Palestine in all of your hearts as you march forward. We will go home. We will go home. We will go home. Thank you.
Free, free Gaza. Free, free Palestine. Free, free Gaza. Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Gaza.
All right, all right, all right, all right. Where's the sound? Free, free Palestine.
Palestine!
Yeah, we need to go. Where's the sound? Where's the sound? Here? Okay. Are you ready to march for ceasefire? Are you ready to march for an end to the occupation? Are you ready to march to end Israeli apartheid? Are you ready to march to hold Biden and Congress accountable? Okay, on to the White House. We are following the leadership of Movement for Black Lives, of Rising Majority, of Dream Defenders, of U.S. Campaign for Palestinian Rights, of Adala Justice Project, of Arab Resource and Organizing Center, and we will march to put an end to this. Ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire now. Ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire now. Ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire now. Okay, there are some logistics. And we're gonna get them real fast and we're gonna go.
All right, y'all, are you ready to march? If you are deaf or in need of ASL, go to the front of the march. We have access. Shout out to our ASL interpreter. Shout out to American Muslims for Palestine. Thank you for being here. We keep us safe. We have medics. We have marshals. Follow the lead of orange vests. Everybody, you guys are going to exit that way. Take the first right. That first right. Join the march. We're all going to march together to White House. Be kind. Be patient. Take your flowers. We are going to the White House. If you are deaf and need ASL, please go to the front. Anything else?
Just take the mic off. Just take the mic
Oh,
off.
sorry.
I wasn't going to say anything.
No one is getting
one is getting left behind. No one is getting left behind this time. We get there together or never get there at all. We get there together or never get there at all. No one is getting left behind this time. No one is getting left behind. No one is getting left behind this time. We get there together or never get there at all. We get there together or never get there at all. No one is getting left behind this time. No one is getting left behind. No one is getting left behind this time. We get there together or never get there at all. We get there together or never get there at all. No one is getting left behind this time. No one is getting left behind. Oh, cool. Thank you.
Just drop that.